Good morning, and welcome to the 2017 Black and Gold Convocation. At this time, I ask everyone to please remain standing and join us in the singing of the national anthem. Thank you, and please be seated. My name is J.J. Brown. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, and I will be presiding over today's program. It is my pleasure to introduce our platform guests. Please stand when your name is called. Chancellor of Appalachian State University, Dr. Sherry Everts. Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Darrell Kruger. Student Government President and member of the Board of Trustees, Ms. Anderson Clayton. Common Reading author and keynote speaker, Dr. Chitra Banerjee Diva Karuni. Director of ASU's Common Reading Program, Dr. Martha McCoy. Harvey Durham Award recipient, Ms. Denise Getz. W.H. Plemons Leadership Medallion recipient and alumnus, Mr. Jonathan Malden. Mace Bearer and Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education, Dr. Mark Ginn. Vice Chancellor for University Advancement, Dr. Randy Edwards. Vice Chancellor for Business Affairs, Mr. Paul Forte. Vice Chancellor and Chief of Staff, Mr. Hank Foreman. I'd also like to introduce one other individual, UNC Association of Student Government President and member of the Board of Governors, Mr. Tyler Harden, who is also an Appalachian student. Also want to recognize as well our Student Government Association Cabinet, who Anderson Clayton will introduce here in a few minutes as well. Again, welcome. Please be seated. The Black and Gold Convocation is the beginning of your journey as a member of the Appalachian State University community. The Appalachian A in black that you received with your program is a physical reminder that you have chosen to be part of something that is bigger than yourselves. As new members of this community, the Appalachian A in black is a symbol of belonging, connecting, and being inclusive. The black A was chosen because the color black is the combination of all colors. Appalachian, like the color black, is the combination of all of our students, faculty, and staff. It represents our rich diversity of people, studies, beliefs, practices, religion, orientation, politics, clubs, or organizations, and the list goes on and on and on. But it also reminds us that we are connected. We are one community, and that there is a place for everyone here at Appalachian State University. As a member of the Appalachian community, we expect all of you to respect each other by engaging in opportunities that generate sustained dialogue, active learning, and well-being both in and outside of the classroom. We want you to enjoy your college experience, but it's not meant to be easy. It should challenge your thoughts, opinions, and beliefs. Use all of the many support systems and resources available to help you self-manage and to be a healthy mountaineer. You should question who you are and why you are here. Our students represent all identities from all intersections of life. We don't disrespect or demean others at Appalachian or in our surrounding communities. We serve, we embrace each other, we engage in research, we travel the world, we are innovative, we act to enhance the conditions of our communities, and we seek opportunities that help us be transformational. In order to truly understand why you feel or think or believe in a certain way, it is important for us to actively listen and learn from one another. We want you to be fully engaged in the life of the university, and all the while working to create your Appalachian legacy. Thank you. It's my pleasure to turn the program over to Chancellor Everts.
Thank you, JJ. Good morning, and welcome to Appalachian State University. Thank you all for being here today as part of the Black and Gold Convocation. Please join me in thanking Kevin Richardson and the Appalachian Pep Band for their wonderful music today. Thank you. Welcome to your fall semester 2017, and to what I know will be an outstanding academic year for each of you. At Appalachian, students are at the forefront of everything that we do. So, as we embark on this new year, I would like to share just a few thoughts. First, I challenge you to be creative learners during your time at Appalachian. Please use the university resources and support systems available to you. Please be inclusive. Please be engaged, and please be kind. These are just a few things you can do to strengthen your success at Appalachian. I am confident you will each turn the challenges and opportunities ahead of you into a transformational educational experience. After more than a century, students still feel the pull of this unique place, and Appalachian has remained focused on providing students with educational experiences that are not only life-changing, but world-changing. Appalachian professor, writer, and past North Carolina poet laureate Joseph Bethanti said, "At Appalachian State University, inspired and nurtured by the magnificent mountain chain and vast ecosystem of biodiversity surrounding it, sustainability and community are synonymous. Living, intellect, and social conscience are seamless." At Appalachian, we put students first, always, and together we are building a bright future. Ultimately, the reason Appalachian's stellar faculty and staff come to work every day is to realize this vision. I am very glad you're here. Welcome to Appalachian, and now it is my pleasure to welcome Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor Darrell Kruger.
Thank you, Chancellor Everts. This is indeed an exciting day for our faculty, students, and staff. The beginning of the fall semester is a time for pause and reflection as we prepare for a new academic year. It is also a time of renewal as we set goals for the new school year. So I extend a heartfelt welcome to our returning faculty and staff, and a warm welcome to our new faculty and staff. To our incoming student class, I'm especially happy to welcome you to the Appalachian community. We are delighted that you have chosen to be a mountaineer. Your time at Appalachian will be transformational. Our very talented full and part-time faculty, approximately 1,200 strong, will serve as teachers and mentors to each of you. Today you'll see faculty wearing medallions on their regalia. These medallions signify special recognition for accomplishments in scholarship, teaching, or service. I want to thank all our faculty for their tireless work and especially their talent in educating our students. With today's Black and Gold Convocation, we celebrate the richness of the Academy's traditions. For instance, the academic regalia we wear symbolizes our connection to the ancient history of universities in general. The word university derives from the Latin phrase universitas magisterium et scholarium, meaning a formal grouping of scholar teachers and student scholars. In short, an academic community. As we celebrate today the community that is Appalachian through such observances, we express our confidence in the future and commemorate the beginnings of our enterprise while linking it to the founding of the very first universities nearly 1,000 years ago. Today we especially highlight how deeply engaged Appalachian is in this beautiful and distinctive mountain region. This very special place is uniquely suited for all of us to create powerful learning experiences at the intersection of classroom learning and real-world experience. Welcome again to Appalachian and the beginning of another academic year. It is now my privilege to recognize the Harvey R. Durham Outstanding Freshman Advocate Award winner. This award is named for Provost Emeritus Dr. Harvey Durham in gratitude and recognition for his many years of leadership and service to Appalachian. It honors a full-time Appalachian University employee who has contributed significantly to improving the freshman experience on our campus. We are honored to have Dr. Harvey Durham, former Chancellor and Provost, and wife Susan with us today. Harvey, I think I saw you up there earlier. Could you just stand for us, please? Thank you to both of you for being here today. The award recognizes that the freshman year may be the most important in a college student's academic career. In these 2 semesters, important decisions will be made, attitudes shaped, and personal connections established that define a student's direction and future. This award honors persons who have demonstrated one or more of the following: extraordinary personal commitment to freshmen, effective exemplary instruction in freshman-level classes, sustained dedication to campus programs that support freshmen, outstanding individual commitment to programs that support freshmen, or outstanding individual commitment to freshman success. In one of several support letters, one colleague wrote, quote, "Denise helps students navigate both academic policies and life away from home in a manner which is both professional and caring," unquote. Another wrote, quote, "Having an advisor who is so invested in caring when coming into such a new environment can mean the world to us," unquote. It is now my privilege to present this year's Harvey R. Durham Award recipient, Ms. Denise Getz, Academic Advisor in Advising and Orientation. Denise.
Hello, class of 2021. Give yourselves a round of applause right now. You made it. My name is Anderson Clayton. I use she, her pronouns, and I currently serve as your student body president for this upcoming academic year. Today, we will witness a celestial phenomenon, one that hasn't happened in the United States since 1979. An eclipse is so special because the sun, the moon, and the earth have to be in the exact, perfect right line for it to occur. And when you look at history, eclipses have been known to signify a revelation because the eclipse is both the end and the beginning all at once. Tomorrow begins your first semester as a college student, and I cannot think of something better to symbolize the opportunity standing in front of you. Eclipses are the most dramatic tool the universe uses to effect change. While no one favors change, eclipses shake us out of our complacency and push us forward. Something I've always told myself is that I want to be an architect for a better age. I don't care about doing well, but I care about doing good. And I came to the realization during my second year at Appalachian that not everyone had that same experience like I did. And I began to question what really mattered. And now I know. This matters, what you do with your time here. Because believe it or not, no year or month or day or even a minute is just a chunk of time. It's an opportunity for you to do something that really matters, to do something good. Starting now, it's up to you to decide how this magnanimous event will shape your entire college experience. Consider this a time for great change. Change in our society, change in our university culture, and change within yourself. So my advice for you today is this. Question everything. Be willing to delve deeper, to listen to understand and not just to respond. Be fiercely kind to others. Put prejudice and ego aside, and you will discover that doors open up for you. Seize those moments. Appalachian will prepare you well, but ultimately, it will be up to you to make your experience what you want it to be. And I challenge you to take your passion and do something with it. Kill apathy. Challenge injustice. Take on matters that matter to you. And be your most genuine self because that's the only person worth being. Appalachian is a very special place. There is an energy here that is unexplainable, so be part of it. Eclipses are supposed to help us connect our history. It spans the generations and centuries to connect us all together in this shared human experience. We are all valuable members of this Appalachian community, and we must continue to support our fellow mountaineers and each leave behind a legacy unmatched by any other. And the question that I'll leave you today with is, what will yours be? Thank you. So like I said, I serve as your student body president, and below I have my wonderful cabinet here with me today, who I would like to please stand. These are your executive SGA members, and if you face a problem on this campus this year, or you're interested in getting involved with SGA, these are the members that you're able to come to, and they're gonna help support you throughout anything during your time here. And actually, they have a banner that we're gonna show you all. Some of you signed it yesterday during Club Expo, and it's called the Aspire banner. And if you turn to page 3 in your packet that you got when you came in this morning, I'm gonna ask you to recite the Aspire statement with us. This is a tradition that's happened every year at Convocation, that the freshman class recites this statement with me and with our fellow faculty members up here on stage. So if you would all please stand, we're gonna recite this together. Amazing. So, y'all ready? Yes? As members of the Appalachian State University community, I will advocate for myself and others as challenges emerge and opportunities come my way, support an environment of inclusion and respect, and pursue a just and sustainable future for all. I will inspire others through authenticity and resiliency, reach each day for academic success, and engage in my responsibility as a lifelong learner and global citizen as I strive for excellence, integrity in all that I do. you can now pin yourself with your black A that you got coming in this morning. And you can all be seated. Thank you very much, class of 2021.
Ready? Ready?
Cherished vision of the Southland, alma mater in the hills, thou dost point our minds to wisdom, till the truth our spirit thrills. Appalachian alma mater, of our hearts the joy and pride. Lead us ever, lead us onward. Vanguard of the hero's side.
We're going to sing that once more, and we ask that you all please sing along with us. If you need the words, they're on the second page of your program.
Cherished vision of the Southland, alma mater in the hills, thou dost point our minds to wisdom, till the truth our spirit thrills. Appalachian alma mater, of our hearts the joy and pride. Lead us ever, lead us onward. Vanguard of the hero's side.
Good morning. As the director of the Common Reading Program, I'd like to tell you why our committee chose One Amazing Thing by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni as the book for all first-year students to read this year. It was not because we expect you'll get trapped in an earthquake like the 9 people in One Amazing Thing do. It was because we were inspired by the life stories these 9 people disclose as they try to survive being trapped after the earthquake in a building that's gradually flooding with water. 9 very different people suddenly find themselves in a context in which they have a shared fate and a new clarity about their lives. These 9 people may have all had a personal mission or a personal business plan, but all clearly faced unexpected events, not just the earthquake itself, but also, as their stories reveal, wars, divorce, poverty, health crises, and other twists of fate that changed the courses of their lives. You, new students at Appalachian, are not unlike the characters in One Amazing Thing, we thought. You're now together with a diverse group of people you don't know, who all have unique biographies and unique reasons for being here at Appalachian. The Common Reading Committee felt that in experiencing what the characters in One Amazing Thing learn from each other's brave sharing of their unique stories, you, the reader, will feel invited to do what universities so wonderfully facilitate, to start listening to and learning from people whose experiences have been different from your own, to show curiosity and intellectual tolerance, even when someone holds a view you find strange or offensive, and to reflect on and share your own stories with courage and humility. We also hope you'll seek out moments of real connection with other people and with our beautiful natural surroundings, as these moments, even when as brief as a solar eclipse, can change your perspective and sense of yourself forever. The author of this amazing book is a professor of creative writing at the University of Houston. She's the author of many books, including most recently, Before We Visit the Goddess, which is currently a bestseller in India, where she grew up. Dr. Diva Karuni has been appreciated widely for her compelling storytelling and her ability to create characters in a way that beautifully captures human complexity and fallibility. It's such an honor and a pleasure to have Dr. Diva Karuni on our campus all day today, and I hope you'll be able to make it to the Student Union later this afternoon, just after the peak of the eclipse, for the faculty panel about One Amazing Thing, and following that, for her reading from Before We Visit the Goddess and a book signing. And now, please help me welcome Dr. Chitra Banerjee Diva Karuni.
Well, it is a real pleasure for me to be here at Appalachian today. It is so wonderful, and in your honor, I have worn my black and gold sari. And in fact, since this podium covers just about all of that sari, I'm going to step to the side so you can properly admire it. I am so excited to be here and to have my book, One Amazing Thing, chosen as your campus-wide read. I thank the committee and I thank the university for choosing it and for inviting me to be up here. It's so beautiful in the mountains. I've just been enjoying it. Also, I've come from Houston, and it's about 20 degrees cooler here, so I'm enjoying that as well. I wanted to start by sharing some exciting news with you, which is that Hollywood has optioned One Amazing Thing. So, thank you. Thank you. I've been told not to get too excited too quickly because it's a long process and it's going to require lots of money. So if there are millionaires in the audience looking for, a place to invest, come see me afterwards. And I'll connect you to the right people. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the book and how I came to write it and what I hope you'll get through it. People have been telling you so many wonderful things, really wonderful advice that I agree with. And I'll talk a little bit about how I feel our stories are so important, listening to other people's stories, as well as sharing ours and learning from that process and becoming a community. I did not know this always. Like all my life, it's not like I've been saying stories, they're great. And I'll tell you how I came to figure out how wonderful, important, magical stories are, and how they can create a strong and diverse community, a strong and diverse campus, and ultimately a strong and diverse country. So often, people ask me, how do I come up with ideas for my books? And a lot of times I have to think. Like my latest book, which I'll be talking about at 4:30, Before We Visit the Goddess, I kind of started getting that idea after my mother passed away. And that book is about mothers and daughters, parents and children. It's about legacy and heritage. But I kind of grew into that idea slowly, so I can't point to a moment when I got the idea for the book. But one amazing thing, I can always point to the moment. I know when that book came to me, at least in its germinal form. It was on a day that was an unusual day, a dangerous day, a day when my family and I could have died. It was the day when a big, big hurricane was coming right at Houston, and this was Hurricane Rita. This was only a few weeks after Hurricane Katrina had devastated New Orleans, so the city authorities took this hurricane very seriously, and they said, Houston, we have a problem. You must evacuate. So, we obediently began evacuation of Houston. Now, Houston is the 4th largest city in the United States. There are literally millions and millions of us in Houston. And you can just imagine what happened when all of us got on the freeways. Yeah, we weren't going anywhere. Right? So we got on, my family, we got on Interstate 10, which goes towards San Antonio. It takes 3 hours to get to San Antonio. Well, we got on that freeway at 7 p.m., and at 3 a.m., we were still on the freeway. We weren't getting anywhere. It was like a parking lot. It was dark. It was hot and oppressive. On our radios, we could hear that the hurricane was getting closer and closer. People began to panic. Cars were overheating. Tempers were overheating. People had to get out of their cars. It was so hot. And there we were milling around in the dark on this freeway with people around us that we didn't know and that we didn't like at all. Because we were all like, if you guys weren't here, I would be in San Antonio by now. And I began to notice that a lot of bad behavior began to erupt just because people were so scared. When we're scared, that happens sometimes. Not that I think you guys would ever do that, right? Right? Okay. Well, actually, to confess, we were having some bad behavior in our own car. Like my husband and I, we were kind of fighting. But we won't get into that. You don't need to know about that. But I noticed that not everyone was behaving badly. In fact, there were people who were going through the crowd, and they were really being wonderful. They were trying to calm people down. They were sharing, food and water. They were trying to help the elderly and the children. And that's when I began to think that, what's going on? This crisis has brought out the worst in a lot of people, but it's brought out the best in some people. And I said to myself, the writer part of my brain began to spark. And I said, if Hurricane Rita doesn't wipe us all out today, I'm going to write a book about it. And so, we were blessed. We were able to get away from the hurricane. And I came back to Houston later, and I started working on this book. But it was like a mystery. How was it that those people were able to find a community, to think of strangers as a community, and therefore create this miraculous environment where they were trying to bring people together? And I didn't know what it was until another event in my life, very soon after, when I started volunteering with the survivors of Hurricane Katrina. Now, a lot of the survivors of Hurricane Katrina came to Houston. Houston was really flooded with these survivors, and we were trying to help them. We were trying to place them. We were trying to figure out what they needed and see what we could provide. And I was one of the people doing intake with the survivors. So they would come into the center, and I would ask them, well, please, can you tell me what happened and what your situation is and what you need? And I noticed that some people were really down. They didn't want to speak. They didn't want to make eye contact. They just, say a few things. They just mumble a few things, and they just wanted to get out of there. And it was very hard to work with them. And they were angry as well. And all very understandable. I mean, completely understandable. They'd lost everything. But what was again surprising is not everyone was like that. I would say to some people, well, tell me what happened and, how you got here and what's your situation. And they would launch into a story. That night I was sleeping and I heard this roar and I rushed to the window and I opened it and there was water. There was water all over my street. And it was like a dramatic event for them. And as they told that story, I saw how they really got into that story. And although they were reliving a difficult a dangerous event, there was something about storytelling that allowed them to process this event. So I learned that storytelling allows us to process, to accept, and to share. Now, so that was half of the miracle, and they were just so much more positive after they'd shared that story. And then we could think about, okay, where do we go from here? How do we move ahead? Now, I noticed that sharing the story did something to me, too. As I heard that story, and I looked at these storytellers telling this story, they became more than just statistics to me. They became more than just, a line of people I had to get through by the end of the day. I related to what they had gone through, and I cared about what they'd gone through, and I wanted good things to happen to them. So I could see that storytelling can really change everything, and it can make strangers into a community. And that's when I decided that One Amazing Thing would bring that in, and in a fictional form, really that relates to the characters of the book, bring alive, I hoped, the miracle of storytelling. Now, there are some problems that people face when they are about to write their own stories, which is that they feel, or tell their own stories, they feel, I don't really have a story to tell. I don't have one amazing thing. And in fact, if you remember, one of the characters in One Amazing Thing says exactly that. When Uma tells the group that is trapped in the earthquake, okay, we're all panicking, let's calm down, let's spend the time better, let's tell each other a story, one amazing thing. And Mrs. Pritchett says, I don't even have an amazing thing to talk about. I don't have a story. And a lot of us feel that because we're so busy with our everyday lives, with looking ahead and just getting the next thing done, that we forget that all of us have had special experiences, special events, one amazing thing that has shaped us into who we are today. So that's my great belief and something I wanted to bring into the book. We all have one amazing thing. Now, the second problem with telling our stories is sometimes I know I have an amazing story, but I don't have a venue in which to tell it. I'm afraid that people won't listen because with our stories, we're really sharing sometimes our innermost selves. Those stories are difficult. Those stories are painful. They're moving to me. They mean a lot to me. I don't want to share them with you if you're not going to, appreciate that story. So we hold on to our stories. But I believe that all of you are very blessed to be in an environment where your story will be appreciated, will be promoted, will be accepted and embraced, will lead to conversation and learning, will teach other people about the world, and will teach other people about humanity and how we feel and how we get along and what our challenges are. I really think that this is your great opportunity, not only to share your own story, but to listen to stories. I know people here have come from many different backgrounds. Some are coming right out of high school. Some have been out in the world for a long time and are coming back. And all your stories are special. All your stories are diverse. And this wonderful diversity, I think, is what makes a great campus and what makes America great. So I hope you will have a wonderful opportunity that you'll take. And sometimes this might be a little difficult. Sometimes it requires courage to share your story. Sometimes it's easier just not to, or kind of listen to people but not at depth, but to engage with stories. That is a miracle, I hope, that will happen for you here, and a skill that you'll take out with you into the world as well. I want to end with one final story out of my own life, and this is the one that goes back the farthest of the stories I've been telling you, and this is the story that made me into a writer, and I think, let me just tell you the story, which is, I've been involved in the field of domestic violence and working in the field of domestic violence for a long time. And this story goes back 30 years to when I had first started working. I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area at that time, and I was working for I was volunteering for an organization called Support Network, and one Friday morning, the office there called me and they said, there is a South Asian woman over here. Can you please come and help us talk to her? So I went into the office, and there was this young woman, very beautiful, but very scared, very thin, as though she hadn't eaten a good meal in a long while. She had a little baby in a car seat with her. And in the course of our conversation, she lifted her shirt and showed me her back, and it was completely lacerated, just cut up. I couldn't even imagine what could have done it. And so I knew she was in a very dangerous situation, and we were talking to her. We were saying, okay, you've come here, that's really good. You can't go back home again. You really have to go to the shelter. We had a shelter, and we wanted her to go in there. And after talking, and at first she was like, no, no, no. You know, my husband, if he finds out that I've come here, he's just going to, I don't know what he's going to do to me. And my family in India, if I leave, you know, they're going to be in such difficulty because I have younger sisters. And if this news gets back to India that I left my husband, they won't get a chance to get married. But we talked to her, and we talked to her. We explained her danger to her. And at the end of the day, she agreed to go to the shelter. So I put her in the car that was going to take her to the shelter, which was in a protected location that even I didn't know. I gave her my phone number. I said, please call me over the weekend if anything comes up. She took my number, but she didn't call me. She called her husband instead, and he came and got her. And we never heard from her again. She'd been too scared to give us her name or address. We couldn't follow up. But for 30 years, I've wondered what happened to this woman. And I haven't known, but I haven't forgotten either. Because the last thing this woman said to me, this last thing she said was, who in this country cares what happens to me? Who even knows who I am? And over the years, as I tortured myself with thinking about what happened to her, I knew she was right. No one knew her story, and therefore they couldn't care. Therefore, they couldn't connect. And I thought, stories are so important. If she had just felt that people knew her story and cared and connected, maybe she wouldn't have gone back to the only person she felt who knew her. Maybe her life would have turned out very differently. And so I said, I'm going to write stories. And I'm going to hope that people read them and share them with each other. And today I'm so happy because all of you have done that. I wish you all the best in your college career. I wish you all the best in transforming your life. I wish you great success. I wish you lots of knowledge. And I leave you with one final statement. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I hope by sharing stories, they will know that. Thank you.
Good morning, and for what I'm sure is the 100th time, welcome to Appalachian. My name is Jonathan Malden, and I am a 2017 alum of Appalachian and current graduate student in the Masters of Accounting program. When I first arrived at Appalachian, I remember being asked a common group of questions: my name, major, hometown, and the famous why App. Most of us have a good answer for the last question: the beauty of Appalachia, the caring personalities around campus, or maybe just that special feeling you had when you first stepped on campus. As the years went on, I found myself still being asked this question that seemed less and less relevant. My answer never changed, though I had definitely been transformed by my Appalachian experience. Reflecting back on my undergraduate career, the question I should have asked is, what makes Appalachian home? While the scenic mountain landscape and the breathtaking campus are great to look at, they aren't what made Appalachian home for me. No, finding my home at Appalachian came through my involvements on campus. In high school, many of the organizations we were a part of were resume builders. Small-time commitments that looked really great on paper, but had no real effect on us as people. College is the exact opposite. The groups and organizations I was engaged with during my undergraduate career, such as Club Council and Walker Fellows, were far greater than any time slot on my calendar. They are my families. They are the people that I went camping with in the middle of February because it sounded like a good idea at the time, the friends I traveled across 5 states to visit during the summer, and the advisors whose offices I've had more mental breakdowns in than I care to admit. They are also the people whose weddings I expect to be a part of, whose children's I anticipate will be named after me, and of course, the friends I will attend Appalachian football games with well into my 90s, even if just to complain about how loud the students are. So when asked what makes Appalachian home to me, the answer is simple. It's the organizational families that I became a part of and the people that I would do anything for that make Appalachian home, wherever I am. So my challenge to you is to find your families in the coming weeks and months and to be able to answer that question by the end of your time at App. What makes Appalachian home to you? Best wishes to the Appalachian State Class of 2021, and go Apps.
Dr. Diva Karuni, Chancellor Everts, Provost Kruger, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students and members of the community that have joined us today, thank you all for your presence and your very powerful remarks to us this morning. At 2:30 p.m. this afternoon, Dr. Diva Karuni will join faculty and students for a question and answer panel discussion that will take place in the Blue Ridge Ballroom of the Plemmons Student Union. It'll be really shortly after the peak of the eclipse. At 4:30, there will also be a public reading and book signing at the same location in the Plemmons Student Union. There are also a number of other events today as well that following this program. Here shortly, you students will be led to the stadium. You'll take a class picture as a giant A, pretty cool. Eat lunch there, have an opportunity to view the solar eclipse. So truly today could be referred to as one amazing day. As one character in the book put it, everyone has a story. I don't believe anyone can go through life without encountering at least one amazing thing. This is part of your amazing story, and we hope it is one of many, many amazing things that you will experience, be a part of, that really mark your time as a student at Appalachian State University. At this time, we direct your attention to the screen for a short safety video regarding the solar eclipse that's taking place later today that you just may have heard about for a few days or so. Thank you.
Hi, my name is David Sitar.
And I am Ellie Prim, and we are part of Appalachian State University Department of Physics and Astronomy.
I'm Lucas Sanders.
And I'm Christine Massengill, and we are from Southwestern Community College Department of Science.
Our goal is to provide the public with knowledge on this rare and exciting astronomical event taking place on August 21st, 2017. There will be a total solar eclipse spanning across the United States, and we want to best prepare you with material on viewing safety, travel concerns, location, and general solar eclipse information.
So, how do we look at the sun safely during the solar eclipse? First of all, remember to never look up at the sun and stare at it because it will do permanent damage to your eyes. So hopefully, if you get to participate at a solar eclipse event or /party, they'll have special types of telescopes such as this one here called a hydrogen alpha telescope. What this particular telescope does is this is the one that gives you the nice solar flares along the sides of the sun. And we're just looking at the hydrogen alpha wavelength. Versus this type of telescope here, we're using just a simple white light filter, also Mylar filter. And what the sun will look like in the eyepiece here is just essentially a white billiard ball. And if we're lucky, we'll have some sunspots. Let's say you go to an event and the event doesn't have telescopes, but around they may still have Mylar filters, which is this one here, essentially the same thing on this telescope. This here just makes sure that when you're going to look at the sun, that you put it in front of your face first. Then you can safely look up at the sun, watch it for a moment, and then be sure to bring down the white light filter with it, and then you can safely remove it. So if there aren't those Mylar filters at the event you're going to, many places will have these solar eclipse glasses. For example, here at Appalachian State on August 21st, there will be plenty of these to go around for everyone. There will be events taking place at Sanford Mall. Once again, though, please remember to put the glasses in front of your face, then you can safely look up at the sun, bring the glasses back down, and then remove them.
If you're interested in a less expensive method, you can use many household items. People have used colanders, welder's masks, the shadows casted from a tree, their own two hands, or the pinhole method. For the pinhole method, all you will need is 2 sheets of paper. The first sheet of paper will have a small hole in it, and the second is used to display the eclipse. You will adjust the first sheet of paper to find the focal length. Once this is achieved, the eclipse will appear on the second sheet of paper.
Along with safety, it's very important to consider travel. The path of totality is the shaded area between the red lines, and the blue line represents the longest duration. People from all over the country will be traveling to totality, so traffic is expected to be really crazy. If at all possible, we recommend traveling the day before. However, if you do get stuck in traffic on the day of the eclipse, do not park under a street lamp. When day shifts to night, the street lamps will turn on, weakening your view of this rare event.
In my personal experience, living in Sylva, North Carolina, which is a town in the path of totality, I can assure you that the excitement in the air is palpable. All hotels in the area are already fully booked and have been for months now. Nearly every business and individual in the area has planned for the eclipse, including public schools which have adjusted their schedules accordingly to allow students and teachers the opportunity to experience this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video about general eclipse information.
With this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, at least once in a lifetime for most of us, we want you to certainly be safe and certainly appreciate our faculty in the College of Arts and Sciences that have been tremendous in helping us prepare for many different events today. I would like to recognize Appalachian's faculty for their participation in today's event as well. These distinguished faculty members teach and mentor our students throughout their academic careers. In effect, the effect of their work is exponential. Students come to Appalachian to develop, grow into amazing individuals who go on to make real and powerful differences in their communities and beyond. Teaching hundreds of thousands of lives. On behalf of all of those present in our university community, I thank you for your tireless commitment to our students and their journey. Please help me show them our appreciation. I would also like to recognize our Apple Corps leaders this morning as well as those participating in the exchange and common reading discussion groups. Thank you all for your participation and support of our new students through the Common Reading program. Additionally, will you please join me in expressing appreciation to Dr. Mark Ginn, who served as the mace bearer for today's ceremony. Our Appalachian Pep Band as well. Higher Grounds a cappella group, who led us in the singing of our alma mater. Well done, and thank you all for your participation and engagement today. Further, please allow me to also express appreciation to our student ambassadors who served as marshals at today's special ceremony as well. Thank you. As we close, just a quick reminder, after the platform party and faculty have recessed from the arena, students, you will be directed through the northwest doors on the concourse level to join the Mountaineer March to the stadium and other festivities throughout the day. And now I ask you to please stand for our recessional. Thank you.